My dad stood in a ballroom full of relatives, raised his glass, and toasted my younger sister for giving him his first grandchild. My daughter was already 10 months old. He had never met her. 4 days later, I made sure he did, and the whole lie exploded in front of 200 people. I was always the less favored daughter. My sister stayed home, married the right guy, smiled on cue, and never left my mother's orbit. I moved away, built a career, married a good man, and started a life far from them. My family skipped my wedding. I cried, got married anyway, and told myself I was done chasing them. Then I got pregnant, and that tiny hopeful part of me came back. I called my mother first. She said she'd tell my father. He never called. I called his office, emailed, sent ultrasound photos, and got nothing. My mother kept saying, he's happy, he's just busy. After my daughter was born, I kept trying. Birth announcement, photo book, Christmas card, Easter card, milestone photos, 10 months of proof that his granddaughter existed, 10 months of silence. Then my mother invited me to my parents' anniversary gala and slipped, calling my sister's pregnancy the first grandchild. I looked at my baby in her high chair and realized this was not neglect. It was erasure. I called my sister. She got syrupy fast. Then she admitted she and my mother had been protecting my father from stress and didn't want to remind him I had run off and made a life without them. When I asked if he even knew I had a baby, she twisted herself into knots. That was when I stopped being confused. I flew in 4 days early. At my dad's office, his assistant went pale when I asked if he knew about my daughter. She told me he had recently asked whether I was ever going to settle down and have a family. Then I went to my sister's house while she was out. In a hidden drawer, I found the photo book I'd mailed, my daughter's birth announcement unopened, and a flash drive. That drive was poison. Texts between my mother and sister planning how to keep my daughter off my father's radar. They joked that my sister's baby would be the real first grandchild. Worst of all, they had told my father I'd had a baby out of wedlock and kept it secret from him. So his silence wasn't indifference. It was built on lies. I spent the next 2 days getting ready. I talked to the family attorney. I made giant prints of my daughter's photos. I had my husband fly in with our baby that night and wait downstairs until I called. I wasn't going there to beg anymore. I was going there to end it. At dinner, my father praised my mother, then my sister, then the baby she was carrying. Then he looked at me, lifted his glass, and said, maybe someday it'll be your turn too. I stood up. Dad, I said, you were invited 10 months ago. The room went still. My mother hissed, sit down. I didn't. I said my daughter's name. I said her birth date. I said I had mailed him everything. Then the slideshow started behind him. First photo, hospital room, her tiny hand around my finger. Then another, bumblebee pajamas, wide smile. Then another, Christmas dress, bright eyes. My father turned. He stared at the screen. He took 2 steps. Then his knees buckled. My sister lunged for the projector. My mother grabbed her arm. Nobody breathed. I said, they hid her from you. Then I said, the attorney is here too. I told the room there were texts, forged signatures, stolen trust money, and almost a year of lies, so my sister's baby could be treated like the first one while mine got erased. Then I looked at my dad and said, my husband is downstairs with your granddaughter if you want to meet her. He was crying before he reached the lobby. My husband placed my daughter in his arms and this hard, proud man just broke. She touched his face like she already knew him. He looked at me and said, I am so sorry. Everything collapsed after that. The attorney filed on Monday. My sister got hit with a fraud case and lost her marriage, her social standing, and most of her future in one shot. My father separated from my mother because he could forgive many things, but not stealing his granddaughter from him. A few months later, he moved near us. Now he picks my daughter up from daycare twice a week and never misses unless he's in the hospital. I'm pregnant again now, and this time my father knew right away. Sometimes I still think about how close I came to staying quiet, letting my daughter grow up as a secret while everybody else celebrated the first grandchild. I'm done being the quiet daughter. If somebody keeps offering to handle your relationship with the people you love, ask yourself why. Would you have exposed them at that dinner or walked away for good?